All right, so let's go ahead and go over this review then. So, the first one. All right, point M lies on AB. And it says that AB is 24. BM is 13. What is AM? Well, again, it's a multiple choice question. But in order to do this question, what's missing? What's missing? Nice to have on that problem. A diagram of some type, yeah. So on here, we need to draw ourselves a diagram. Again, anytime you don't have a diagram, you should always draw one. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a diagram on there. I'm going to call this A. I'm going to call this B. Now, does it say anything about point M as far as like, does it lie in the middle? Is it bisecting? Is it 2/3 away or anything like that? No, right? So we're going to just put point M on there. And I'm not going to draw it in the middle on purpose, just so we know it's not in the middle. And then we're going to label it. So AB, that entire length, is 24. BM is going to be 13. And then we want to know AM. So I'm going to call that part X. Now, once we have that, we can use that to make our equation. So the whole thing's 24. 24 is equal to those two parts added together, X plus 13. So now, get rid of 13 by subtracting it, and X is 11. Our correct answer on that one is A. Number 2, if AC is 72, now they gave us a drawing this time, but did they label the 72? No, so again, make sure you label it. So the whole thing is 72. They gave us the length of the individual pieces as expressions. So we can take those two expressions, add them together, and set them equal to 72. Now, you can either write it as an equation where you add them together, or go ahead and combine them first before you write the equation. I like combining them first. So 72 equals 2x plus 5x is what? 2x and 5x would be 3, and negative 8 gives us negative 5. Now we have to solve. So bring 5 over by adding it. So if we add 5 to 72, we get 77. And then we got to get 7 over by dividing it. So 77 divided by 7 is 11. Is that the answer we want?
No.
No. Again, always go back and read the problem. The first thing you should do is read the question. The last thing you should do is read the question. Make sure we answer what it's asking for. It wants the length of BC. So it wants this piece, which is found by using that expression. We got to plug it in. So BC equals 5 times 11 minus 8. 5 times 11, 55. 55 minus 8, 47. That's our answer. No. Let's go down to the next one, number 3. This one is a lot like number 2. This one on number 2 did have our line segments. This one's an angle, but essentially the work is the same. So that was segment addition. This is now angle addition. The whole thing is going to be equal to 130 degrees. They gave us the individual pieces. Yes. Back on number 2, you're talking about? So on this one, I first added those two together, combined like terms, 7 equal to 72, which was the whole thing. And then I brought each of those pieces over. So I added the 5 and then divided by 7. Once we found X, plug it back in. All right. On number 3. So number 3, we had 130 for the whole thing. Same thing here. I'm combining them, combining my like terms, and saying it's equal to the 130. So 130 equals 6x and 9x. If I add those together, what do we get? 6 and 9 is 15, right? 15x. Negative 4 and negative 16. That gives me a bigger negative, which is negative 20. So I have 130 equals 15x minus 20. Well, first step here, get rid of the 20. Add 20 to the other side. I now have 150 equals 15x. Get rid of the 15 by dividing it. And what do I get when I divide 150 by 15? 150 divided by 15. Okay. Again, is that my answer? No. Go back to the question. What's the question? They want WYZ. So they want this angle. So I need to plug in to that equation. So for the measure of angle WYZ, plug in 6. Oh. 6 parentheses 10 minus 4. So 6 times 10 is 60. 60 minus 4, 56. That's my answer. Nope, didn't clear yet. So you do number 4 before I clear. On number 4. My head? No. All right. On number 4, we have 2 expressions, and it tells us that these are complements. What does it mean to be complements? 2 angles must add to, what was it? 90. So add 90, right? If they're on complements, they're adding to 90. Add to 90. Or I could say their sum is 90, right? So together, these two have to add up to 90. So 90 equals, well, if I add these up, this is 2x. This is like saying 1x. So 2x and 1x is 3x. 2 and 1, that's also 3. So I have 90 equals 3x plus 3. A few extras. No, Thursday. What did I give you? I might have given it the day on Wednesday, actually. I don't know. Maybe the Wednesday, Thursday. All right, on number 4. So we got our equation set up. Now we're solving. We're bringing the 3 over, subtract it. We get 87 equals 3x. Then divide by 3. So 8 divided by 3 is 2. We have 2 left over. Get to 27. 27 divided by 3 is 9. So that's 29 for x. Now, is that our answer? Or do we need to plug it back in?
Plug it back in.
Plug it back in? You sure?
Well, no, that's not. Well, we don't plug it back in. That's your answer.
On this one, we were looking for the value of x. So that's going to be it. Now, one thing to remember, again, I said this already, but go back and read the question. See what you need to do. All right. Once you solve for something, see if you're done. See if you have to keep going. It's easy to get on a roll and plug it back in, plug it back in. This one we didn't have to plug it back in. So you don't want to do too much work. Again, it's multiple choice, and there's a good chance the multiple choice answers are there for if you were to not go and plug it back in, or if you were to go and plug it back in, or if you're to go plug it back in for the wrong value. So make sure you read the question. Make sure you're doing the correct thing. All right. Any questions here before I get rid of this answers? No? Going away.
Wait.
Good enough? Next, all right, on number 5, the ratio, the measure of an angle to the measure of its complement is 2 to 3. What are the 2 angle measures? Well, first off, this question, you could actually do this one without doing any work at all. Alright? So if we look at this, starting complements again, that means they have to add up to what? We said it's 90, alright? So here they have to equal 90, but look at those answer choices. Does A equal 90? No. Well, that one's out. Does D equal 90? No. So that one's out. Only the two in the middle do. Hey, we got a 50-50 shot. Well, if they have to be in a ratio of 2 to 3, which one doesn't make sense?
Which one doesn't make sense is A.
Well, out of the two remaining. So now we have 30 and we have 60.
Oh.
That's half of that one. That's not 2 out of 3.
It's B.
So that one doesn't make sense. So the only one that actually makes sense as an answer is C. You didn't even actually do the math for this problem. Now, how would you actually do the math? Well, if we're doing a ratio of 2 to 3, let's say we have a right angle, something like that. One of these we could call 2x, one of them we could call 3x. We don't know which one's which right now. Doesn't matter. So together, those two have to add up to 90. So 2x and 3x added together is 5x, and that's going to have to equal 90. Divide that by 5, and x is 18. Great. What is each angle individually? 2 times 18 is 36. 3 times 18 is 54. Again, that's the actual work that you would do on a problem like that. But again, sometimes when it's multiple choice, you might be able to eliminate things without even doing the problem. All right, number 6. On this one, they give you measure angle U is 3x. Measure angle V is measure angle U times 2. So this is the same thing as saying 3x. So really, measure angle V is what? For x. On this one? Okay, so here it says these had to be in a ratio of 2 to 3. So I don't know the exact value, so I'm just saying 2x's to 3x's. I don't know what that number is, but together they're going to have to add up to 9 because so they're complements. So I took 2x and 3x, add them together, that's 5x. So 5x would have to be equal to 9. And I divided, got x is 18, and I plugged it back in to find the individual angles. Not only didn't give you much to work with, they just gave you that one little ratio. But when they gave us problems with ratios like that, each time we always just took those values and we plugged it in next to an x. So we said like, because we also did it with segment addition, where it said this is your segment, and sometimes we even had 3 numbers, and it says in a ratio like 2 to 3 to 5, and then you did 2x, 3x, and 5x, added them all up and say equal to the length of the entire segment. So that's from again beginning of the year, a long time ago. It's not hard to remember from way back then. All right, so on number 6, on this one, so that's 3x. If I plug 3x in here, then b is actually going to be 2 times 3x, which is 6x. So I got 3x and 6x. They told me that U and V are new keyword supplementary. What's supplementary mean? 180. So I'm taking the 3x and the 6x, adding them up. 3 and 6 is 9, right? So we got 9x equals 180. Well, divided by 9, and x is what? 20, right? Now, are we done, or do we need to do something else? Well, go back to the question. Find the value of x. So x is what we're trying to find. We're done. It is 20. All right, go on to number 7. Number 7. So they said measuring angle U is 3. So I just plug that in. 3x. That's 3x. So then once I plug that in, it was 2 times 3x, and that's how we got 6x. All right, number 7. Ray AB bisects CAT. Again, we can draw a figure for this to help us out. So angle. Yeah, CAT, C-A-T, with a ray, A-B. What does it mean bisect? Keyword here. We need to split it in half, or these two congruent parts. So both of these are going to be the same measure. Now, they tell us that the entire thing is 30. So if the whole thing's 30, what's each of these angles? That's half 30. 15. So both of these angles are 15. You know that already because they told us it's been bisected. Well, then they also told us that CAB is 2x plus 10. So CAB, this one here, is 2x plus 10. They want to know what's the value of x. Well, we know this is 15. And we know it's equal to the 2x plus 10. So we write our equation, and we can solve for x. We get 10 across. By subtracting it, we just with pi. Get rid of the 2 by dividing it, and x is, not a whole number this time, 2.5. That's it. They want us to solve for x. So that's our answer. All right. This next one has a lot of steps. Here, they want us to solve for this angle I'm highlighting in red, right? But they don't give us anything about that angle. What we have to go on is these two angles. Well, what do we know about these two angles that are above and below each other here? Are they equal 180? Are they equal 90? Are they congruent? What do we know about those two angles that they gave us measures for? They start with a V, the type of angles they are. They are vertical. So vertical angles, what's special about them? Vertical angles are congruent. So if they're congruent, they got to be equal. So we're going to take these two that we know for sure are equal, and we're going to solve. So 6x minus 1.5 equals 2x plus 39. And then we're solving. Right. On this one, move everything over one step at a time this time. So I'm going to subtract the 2x, subtract the 2x, leaves me 4x. 4x minus 1.5 equals 39. Get that 125 over to the side. I'm adding 125, 125. So we have 4x equals, what's that? 164, right? Divide both sides by 4, and x is, well, 16 divided by 4 is 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So that's 41. Are we done? No. Again, we have to find this angle. All we got so far is x. Can I find this angle right now given x? No. What can I find? All right, I can plug it into one of these. So take one of them. They should be the same, so it doesn't matter which one. I'm going to take the bottom one since it seems like smaller numbers. So I'm going to take that 2x, plug in the 41. So 2 times 41 is 82. 82 plus 39. What? 121, right? Yeah. So we have this angle. Yay. We have an angle. We need that angle. How do we get from this angle, 121, to the other angle? Again, we want this one that I have highlighted in red originally. What's true about that angle and the one we just found? This is a big obtuse angle. That's a little acute angle. They're next to each other. They form a line. Keyword there, they are a linear pair. It means they are also supplementary. They have to add up to 180. So a straight line with 180 degrees. So we're gonna take 180 and subtract off that 121. Leaves us with 59. That's our angle over here, 59. Any questions there?
So subtracting 180 from 181.
So, then 180 minus 121, and that gave me the 59. All right, let's take a look at the next page. Make sure you guys are on the same page, actually. Show. All right, there we go. All right, number 9. Yes. What's that somebody else? Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, I didn't see that. All right, on number 9, we got BCA and ACB form a linear pair. There's that keyword again. We know since it's a linear pair, they're gonna have to add up to a 180, right? Because here, a linear pair is always supplementary, they form a line. Now, they gave us some measurements for it. So BAC, this one here, is 2x minus 5. This one is 3x plus 10. So they want us to find this angle. Well, before I can find that angle, I gotta use the fact that they are a linear pair, so they must equal 180 in order to solve. So 180 is equal to, add these two together. 3x and 2x is 5. 10 and negative 5. Positive 5. So we have an equation. Solve it. Subtract the 5 from both sides. 175 equals 5x. Divide by 5, and x is 35. Once you know x, now we can plug it back in. This is the angle they want us to solve for, so that's what we're plugging it in for. So we have 3 times 35 plus 10. Now, since I know x is 35, there's only one of these answers over here that doesn't make sense. It has to be deep. But again, I'm going to keep going and solve it out. 3 times 35 is 105. Plus 10 is 115. Which is again, answer B. On number 10, they tell us that a perpendicular bisector of BC is segment AB, and a perpendicular bisector of AB is segment BC. The intersections of AB and BC is at E, which congruency statement is true. To help visualize this, I would recommend drawing 2 lines, segments that are intersecting each other and bisecting each other. So that one being bisected, this one being bisected. That's all the information they really gave us. Also, let's label the points. So we have one of these was AB, one of these was CD, and then the point in the middle was E. All right, so which one of these statements is correct? And if I just go through the list, EB, this little piece here, and CD, they're not on the same line. That doesn't make sense. AB, this whole thing, and CD, that whole thing. Didn't tell me anything about the entire line, so that doesn't make any sense. AE, and again, 2 different line segments, doesn't make sense. Last one, this one, and this one. Hey, there it is. We got these two. It says bisected, so those 2 pieces had to be congruent. That's our true statement. Number 11, so which statement should be used to prove that the measures of angle 1 and angle 5 have a sum of 180? Well, in order for us to do that, if we're to make a proof, we have to make sure that we're including both those angles, and somehow we're comparing them to each other. Again, let's just go through the options there. This one has 1 and 3 are congruent as vertical angles. All right, I do agree with that. 7 and 8 form a linear pair. I agree with that. Is there anything there tying 5? Again, these are the two angles that we're using. Is 5 mentioned anywhere down there? Nope. Missing 5, so that can't be our answer. How about on C? We have 5 and 7, all right. We have 6 and 8, all right. Says nothing about anything up here, so that can't be it either. On B, angle 1 and angle 2, great. Angle 3 and angle 4, great. It doesn't mention anything about these angles down here, so that can't be it. So A is the only one left. Hopefully it works. Angle 1 and angle 8. Hey, it's comparing something from up here to down here. It used angle 1, and then angle 5 and angle 8. It's comparing those. So we're using angle 1, we're using angle 5, and we're both comparing them to the same angle, angle 8. That was good. That's information we could use to make a proof. Yes. X plus 11.
Was that really?
On here,
Yeah.
3x plus 10.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I just had to go with
Kind of
that.
blends in there. That was a- I don't know if that helped at all. Is orange not a good color for up here? All right, 12. Find the value of x. So again, we're just looking for x. Find the measure of each labeled angle. Oh, so actually we're doing 2 parts. So finding x and then finding each of the labeled angles. So we have a parallel, not parallel, a trapezoid. We have these two lines are parallel. Again, we haven't really talked much about trapezoids, but we have to talk about parallel lines. So these are 2 parallel lines. I'd extend these just so you can get a familiar image. We have 2 parallel lines cut by a transversal. These are same side interior angles. Are same side interior angles congruent? No, because we have 1s of 2s, 1s of 2s. So there's only 2 things that could happen if we were dealing with parallel lines. Either the angles were congruent or they were, what was the other possibility? Congruent, or they were supplementary. They had it equal 180. So either congruent, equal, or they were supplementary, added up to 180. Here, these are adding up to 180. So our equation, 180 equals, add these two up, x plus x is 2x. We got 58 there. We didn't have anything else to add to it, so it's just minus 58. So we got ourselves an equation. Solve it. Subtract the 58. Well, 180 minus 58 leaves us with 122. 122 divided by 2 is 61. Great, we have the first part of our answer. This is one piece of the answer, but they want us to find 3 different things. They want us to find that, and it wanted us to find the measure of each of those labeled angles. So then we also know that this angle is 61. This angle, we have to actually plug it back in, 61. Wait, something didn't add up right. Hold on, something. Wait. 2x minus 58. That's what we did wrong. Yeah, we had a plus. Thank you. That was a mistake there. Let's go back. Right here. We had minus 58. We got to add 58. That's what the mistake is. Let's fix this. Yeah, you need it. Why not?
It's once.
So let's go back to this. So we added 58. So if you add 58, that's gonna be, yeah, 238. 238 divided by 2 would be 1, 9, right? 119? Is that right? Don't disagree with me. I'm trying to check my work. You good now? Yeah. All right. So let's try this again. So x is 119. So this angle up here is 119. Now when we put this in, it should make sense. 119 minus 58. Subtract. And that should give me what? Is it 64? No, not 64. That's 61, right? That's not good. All right. Now, anybody know why I stopped myself and went back? Why did I realize I made a problem? It's gonna work. Because these two angles had to add up to what? 180. And originally I had 50 something and that, no, I had, what was it, 60 something? And I was gonna subtract 58 and this was gonna be even smaller. Are they gonna add up to anything close to 180? No, so I knew something was wrong. And that's why I was like, all right, we gotta go back and check it. And that was a big mistake. I had subtracted instead of added. So 61 and 119 are the correct angles. All right. Anybody need this before I clear it? We good? Oh, two more on that page, so. All right, on the next one, which of the following is the condition for the figure below that will not prove that they are parallel? So, on here, again, we want to know which one will not prove. So, let's see, A and C being congruent. Well, A and C, if those two are congruent, those are corresponding angles. If they're congruent, those two lines are parallel. So that's not it. All right, let's look at the next one. So that next one, B and D are 180. Let's see, B and D are 180. So we're talking about this angle and this angle. Well, does that tell me anything about that line up there? No. So does that tell me that those are parallel? No. So that's the one I'm looking for. That's the one that's not going to work. When I go through and double check the other ones, we have A and D. Those are alternate interior angles are congruent. That would tell me that they're parallel. So it's definitely not C. And then the last one, A and D equal 180. Well, A and D are same side interior angles. One's up there, one's down there. Those would be 180 if they were parallel, only if they're parallel. So B is the only one that doesn't work. Because it give me an angle from up here and an angle from down there. All right, number 14. The figure shows a two-dimensional representation of a bird made from origami paper. Find the measure angle 1 and the measure angle 2. Explain your reason. So, here's angle 1, here's angle 2. They point to this random angle over here. We need to figure out, all right, what x is first before we can solve for the other angles. So, we got this angle down here, which is an obtuse angle. And we got this angle up here, which is an obtuse angle. So, what do we know right now about those two angles? Well, since these are both obtuse and we're dealing with parallel lines, they are congruent. Right? Because again, when we're doing parallel lines, the angles are either congruent or equal to 180. Here, these are both obtuse. Could you have two obtuse angles equal 180? No, because they're both over 90 degrees already, so that wouldn't work. So take them, set them equal to each other. 3x plus 5 equals 4x minus 30. All right, subtract off, let's do the 3x this way. So let's minus the 3x, bring it this way. That leaves us with just 1x. Bring it 30 the opposite way, add 30. So x is 35. Great. So let's plug it into one of these and see what angle 1 would have to be. Okay, it doesn't matter which one you plug it into. That one has smaller numbers, so I'm going to use that one. We have 3 times 35 plus 5. 3 times 35 plus 5 is 115. So that means all the obtuse angles here are 115. Angle 1 is one of those obtuse angles. That's going to be 115. How do I get angle 2? Again, you have to be congruent or equal to 180. So subtract the 115 from 180. Minus 115. That gives us 65. The measure of angle 2 is 65. All right. What time do we have here? Oh, 8. We can maybe get a couple more. So I'll stop whenever the bell rings. Oh, did anyone need this before I clear it? Yeah, that's the next one. I'm trying to do them all, so I know we're not gonna get to every single one today. Looks so much nicer when you have all the color there. Oh, not wrong button. So, okay. On this one, number 15. When sunlight enters a drop of rain, different colors of light leave the drop at different angles. This process is what makes a rainbow. For violet, measure of angle 2 is 40 degrees. All right, this is 40 degrees. Let's be start with it. 40 degrees. All right. What is measure angle 1? Again, we got parallel lines here. This line. Those are alternate your angles. They should be congruent. So it is also 40 degrees. All right. What is the measure of angle 1? How do you know? So we answered the first part. Measure angle 1 is equal to 40 degrees. How do we know? Because angle 1 and angle 2 are alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angle theorem. You want to write it out in words. Alternate interior angles for parallel lines are congruent. Number 16. Matching angles on the left with their corresponding names on the right. So we have the museum and the worship center. Let's see. Museum, this one. Worship center, what's this one? These are alternate exterior angles. So that would be E. Alternate exterior angles. The bank and the daycare. Here's the daycare, here's the bank. Those are alternate sides of the transversal. Again, this is actually the transversal. These are our other 2 lines. So those are alternate interior angles, which would be A. The park and the coffee shop. Park and coffee. Just using these 2 lines, those are what we call vertical angles. That's D. Fire station and worship center. Fire station and worship center. These are on the same set of lines. They are making a straight line here. That would be a linear pair, which is F. Community center and daycare. I forgot what the community center looks like again. community center, this one and the daycare, they're on the same side of transversal and inside, so they are same side interior, also known as consecutive interior. Again, consecutive interior, remember that's also known as same side interior. Go together. And then bank and museum, they're in the same position, so those are corresponding angles, which is C. All right, we'll stop there today. We only got 2 minutes up. I don't think that's enough time to do any more problems. So we'll pick up on 17 tomorrow, and we'll keep going. All right. By the end, we should be able to get through all of them.